These birds dance like two scrappy sisters fighting for the same demand. One wears green, the other stays mean. Both got bread on theirs. I should have been a cowboy, but I was born a lady. Ever since I was a baby girl, I've been cussing them and holding me down. I say I look just like my mama. She was born a farmer's daughter. And then puddles of southern rain on my holy water. These birds taste like scotch in the morning where the sun and the moon collide. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight.
Oh, am I off? Let me see. There we are. Is that better?
There you go.
Hi, Jamie. How are you?
We can do it like that and do some like neck contortions. Maybe that's what we need because we've been sitting all year. So maybe that's a little what we need, right, Jessee?
Yeah, a little yoga interview or something.
I think you're onto something there. I don't know.
That could be fun.
There's something there. Maybe. Jessee Lynn Madera. Look at you.
Yes.
How are you?
Well, look at I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
Good. Can you hear me and see me okay? Perfect.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Looking awesome.
Right.
Looking awesome. You know, Jessee, a pleasure to have you on the show. You know, I mean, obviously, your Christmas single, you know, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas with Matt Rawlings, you know, the Grammy Award winning composer, keyboard player, and producer. It's a beautiful thing. Just an outstanding song. And, you know, your debut album, Fortunes, which came out earlier this year in April, I believe, also amazing. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I got so lucky to get to work with Matt. I mean, I've known him for a while, and I've been wanting to work with him for a while, and so, you know, I didn't know what he would say when I asked him. But I was so thrilled that he said yes. I'm like, okay, all right.
I love that about you, because I mean we're gonna get to your music in a second, but I love that, you know, you have, you know, you think of male voices that you like and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna write a song for that, you know, or like you're very empathetic. You're like, you use your skills for other men's and talents, and it's really cool what you do. I like that. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually I'm working on a reggae song.
Yes.
You know,
Love it.
I'm just I wrote it, but I'm gonna be duetting and
That's amazing.
With a wonderful singer named Wayne McFarlane, and I'm thrilled.
That's excellent. I love that. They're expanding. I love it. Good for you.
Having fun, you know.
Super Jessee Lynn. So yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, I mean, we're gonna get to your new record in a second, but The Door, 72, HVN, these are songs that just like completely outstanding. Just had to throw that out there.
Oh, so much.
Absolutely. So, you know, let's start with this, Jessee Lynn. You know, how are you doing? How is your husband's health? I know that about this time last year was a little rocky for you guys with the health. How is everybody doing, the kids and everybody?
Everybody is doing so well, knocking on wood. Everything is fine, you know. Yeah, I was looking for a photo to post for like a, you know, one of those Throwback Thursday pictures. And I went, you know, this time last year, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. I even just kind of seeing some of the photos, I'm like, oh man, I wouldn't go back there. Somebody,
sure,
$1 million, I wouldn't go back. But he's doing so much better, and he's feeling great. He's starting to be able to work out, you know. Great. Yeah, he's on this whole mission, on this like real get healthy mission now. So
That's amazing. That's real. That's really, really great. Honestly, like that is the best part of this interview. What you just told me. That's amazing. That's great to hear.
And I take it are you a Hemke fan?
Well, I'm a Henke. Yeah, yeah. I respect absolutely his filmography, no doubt. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Um,
absolutely. And
yeah.
when we return to normal, if that ever happens again, what we thought of as normal, Jessee Lynn, what are some of the moments this year that I think you're gonna look back, with your husband and with the kids, being at home now in Nashville, and you're gonna be like, man, those little moments were like beautiful and the priceless.
Gold. I mean, there have been so many diamonds that have, pressure made the whole saying, well, and the fact that pressure makes diamonds, right?
Hmm.
There have been so many diamonds in this time, and playing we played badminton. There was a whole like badminton
That's
thing
beautiful.
that was happening in our house.
Yeah.
We had a tent up in our backyard for like at least a month, and that
Amazing.
thing, because we were able to like I did some interviews out there, and I
Hmm.
wrote out there, and like the kids, we would sleep out there every once in a while, and um we built this cool thing with the kids where we used the dirt, and we made this like whole river. We used sticks and rocks and stuff and made this like river. I mean, stuff that we wouldn't have
Yeah. Yeah. That's
had to
amazing.
in, and life has slowed down in a way that kind of makes it more similar to the way that I grew up.
Hmm.
I, things weren't so quick when
Yeah.
I was, you know.
Right. Right. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And
I even
yeah,
the Super Mario, Jamie. I even got them on Super Mario.
on the original one.
Yeah.
Hard, right? Yeah. Frustration, perseverance, detail, all that, right?
That's exactly. There's a lot of
Hmm.
metaphors.
Absolutely. There's no cheat codes there. Like
Yeah.
yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
persevere, buddy.
Mom,
Oh, Jessee Lynn, that's
you're
amazing.
so cool.
Yeah, it just sounds like you guys have engaged. Like you have not let this pandemic define you or your family. That you have really just taken control. That's a beautiful thing.
We're trying to make the best of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
And yeah.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear. Well, because it's so part of you, uh, maybe you don't realize that a lot of people like don't have that skill, and that is being wealthy. That's the real richness
Yeah, that's true.
because it comes from inside. But anyway, actually, since we're like on the grateful talk, let's just like do one more gratitude thing, and then we'll get on to with the business. We're in the holidays, Jessee Lynn, and of course you come from a very deep musical DNA. So instead of asking, I know you grew up with music around you, obviously your grandfather, the whole thing, but take me to like about this time. How was it when you were growing up playing piano when you were a tiny little girl during the holidays? What do you remember? What types of food did you eat? Like, what type of people were around the house? What do you remember?
Well, I ate everything then that I'd be afraid to eat now.
Yeah.
So lots of my it was really the food is really what takes me back. Like my lots of good cooks in my family, and my grandma would always make like chocolate fudge and peanut butter fudge, and you would take one piece of chocolate fudge, one
God.
piece of fudge, and you just eat them at the same time.
Oh my God. Chocolate fudge and peanut butter. I can't. That's
You know,
so good.
peanut butter brittle. Have you ever had peanut brittle? Not peanut butter, peanut brittle.
I don't think I've had peanut brittle. No.
That's good stuff.
Oh God.
It's kind of like toffee. It's very similar to toffee. Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
good stuff.
That's the holidays. That's the holidays. Stretchy pants, you
Oh
know,
yeah, I forgot about.
toffee, whatever. And we were and you were like so happy. It was the best, right?
I know. And this quarantine has kind of been one long holiday.
It really has. Yeah, I know. It's like yeah, it's like it kind of feels the same except for the seasons, I guess, or else, who knows?
Like I'm
And,
wearing jeans right now,
mhm.
and you know that like that's a special thing.
Yeah, good, nice. I'm honored. Thank you. Oh, that's great. That's great, Jessee Lynn. Well, thank you for sharing those beautiful memories, and we're glad that your heart is full and there's so much love in your household. Good to hear. Let's talk about Fortunes for a second, because switching gears, it came out in April. I mean, the way it begins, Jessee Lynn, with Dante, you're in for an epic album, you know, and here's what I love about this album, Jessee. It's such a pure album, and what I mean is that there's no digital elements to that. It makes sense. It just sounds like it went through it sounds like it was made before Pro Tools. It sounds like it was made like with raw, musical artistry. Is that an
Yeah.
accurate observation, or is it just like an even better effect?
Very much. Oh my gosh, the word is escaping me. But yes, it is the opposite of digital.
Beautiful.
I think
Analog.
on Seven to Heaven, Paul who produced that song with me, he created a loop for that. But they are real drums,
Yeah.
Just it was really important to me to use all organic ingredients.
Yeah.
I think it made it sound different from a lot of the other stuff that's out there.
Yeah.
And I wanted it to
Beautiful.
like something I don't know, of the earth or something like that.
Yeah.
For lack
Yeah. And you can tell the difference, like, let's go back to the brittle analog. Like, if you go to any store, if any candy store or whatever, and you buy brittle, I bet you it doesn't taste half as good as your grandmother's brittle.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and it's analog. Analog.
Exactly. She made it right there in front of everybody. The best. Love it.
Yeah. Yes.
Love it, Jessee.
Yeah, that's so the recording, and the guy who mixed the album, Ryan Hewitt in Nashville,
Yeah.
he mixed everything to tape.
Oh, that's great. That's cool.
It's so
It
delicious.
comes across. It just comes across, Jessee Lynn. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so many great songs, so many paths I can take here. But I mean, you with the Sullen Eyes, for example, John Hawkes, very good, very great actor. Winter's Bone and a bunch of other stuff is in there. Great song, but it feels, a song like that, it feels like a whole movie almost. Your songwriting and Hawks, it's it's a 4-minute, like, it really takes you somewhere. Do you think that having like an actor combined with your songwriting just gives it like that experience?
Yes, Jamie. Yes. He took what I gave to him, and it was like he was able to get inside my head. And like a great actor, that's what they do, is they somehow get inside the writer's head, and they bring it to life. And it was extremely gratifying to get to work with him. And I think he did it in like 2 takes. I mean, it was
amazing.
And when he first got the song, he sat there and he was looking down at it and taking notes and asking me, what did you mean by this line? And what about this line? And he studied it like he studies scripts. And he took it and breathed life into this character that, I don't know. I think it had a lot to do with him being such a great actor, the way it but I mean, really, Johnny Cash, great actor. Chris Christopherson, like, great. Willie Nelson, like, there's that way of a song. Certain people have this way,
Yeah,
But
you're 100% right. Actually, I was in Nashville recently, and I went to the Johnny Cash Museum, and they have this section about his acting skills, and like, it like totally, he just had that feel for that whole experience. But to your credit, I mean, it's your songwriting, Jessee Lynn. Obviously, he took it to another level, but he understood your songwriting, and I want to talk about that because you're such a great songwriter. And when you go back to your first EP, like, you can already tell that you're a gifted songwriter. I want to ask about your process, because I find this fascinating. I'm not an artist, and I'm obsessed with the creative process. When you start writing a song, Jessee Lynn, are you you know, people see the musicians like you on social media, they think it's all fun, they see you guys on stage performing, but it's work. Do
Mhm.
you, when you say, okay, I'm gonna write, do you go and you lock yourself in a room or in a cabin from 9 to 5, or is
Mm.
it like, and you're like, honey, see you at 5, or is it like when it hits you?
It used to be like that.
Hmm.
Um, but it really can't be like that anymore because I have 2 kids.
Right.
So, um, and for the first few years of my older son's life, I was really overwhelmed by trying to make it all work because I was used to being able to, like, even if maybe I wasn't locking myself in a cabin, maybe I would sit by myself in a restaurant and, have a few glasses of wine and just,
Nice.
now I was living in New York at the time, and it's,
Hmm.
God, what a city. And it's the perfect place to go be anonymous
Yeah.
and people watch,
Sure.
and you get all these ideas. But now I think what it is, I think, I'll get little pieces of things in my head, and I have to take my phone and go to voice memos and just record it immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And
Interesting.
sorry. Yeah. Sorry, my
Oh,
older
I
son.
love it. No, 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 no. It's all good. Hey, this is COVID time, baby. I love it.
Yeah.
It makes it more authentic, like your album. It's real.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
brittle, the brittle,
Dog.
baby.
All animal. It's all real. But yeah, now, right. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's actually perfect timing, but you know, there are like little interruptions all day,
Yeah.
and I I I welcome it, and I have to be there for that. But then I also have to have this little these rooms in my mind
Yeah.
that are
Yeah.
impenetrable.
Impenetrable. Right.
Um, so I'll get something stuck in my head, or I'll write a little bit at a time, and sometimes it just takes a little bit of piecing together. And um, if I'm really attached to the melody, it'll keep coming back, and that's kind of how I measure, whether or not I have something that I'm going to be able to fully invest in, is if it keeps coming back,
Okay.
you
Okay.
know,
Good. Yeah.
like, you get a song stuck in your head.
Mhm, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, I have to get my song stuck in my head,
Mhm.
If it's not something that's sticking to me, then I don't trust that it would stick to anybody else,
Right.
you
Right.
know?
I love that. You give it like oxygen to breathe.
Yeah.
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 That's
And
great.
every once in a while, like the reggae song,
Hmm.
I got extremely quickly. Like, because I knew I was gonna be performing it the next day in a Zoom event thing.
Nice.
So I wrote it in, like 30 minutes or something. And those are usually the best songs. Like You with the Sullen Eyes was that way.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that. You know, and do you ever get self-conscious, Jessee Lynn, like with the reggae thing? I remember once I took a creative class in college, and we had to like go into this like darkest period of our lives and write something. I was so self-conscious. I was like, this is a piece of crap. I just threw it away. And I said, you know what? Jessee Lynn is such a great writer. I'm gonna ask her, do you ever, go to your husband, go to your kids and be like, honey, like, what do you think of this?
Well, Henke will never give me criticism.
Okay.
Um,
Do you like
he,
that?
uh, yeah,
He won't see this. This is just us girls, nobody else.
yeah, I guess so. It kind of just is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so supportive,
Good.
um,
That's
and
beautiful. He has that. That's beautiful. He's got that. I love that. That's beautiful.
yeah, and like that's just the sort of place in my relate. That's where what he
Mhm.
occupies. A
That's
little,
amazing.
guys. Um, my brother will give me criticism,
Of
and
course.
yeah, he's the person that I go to for that. And he and I have that relationship, and I feel comfortable with that. I
Yeah.
trust. Um, uh, But
You know,
yeah,
you know that with your brother, it'll come from, even if you like yell at each other for 2 minutes, it's coming from a place of he's pushing you with the
yeah.
best intent, right?
Oh yeah, my brother was like another parent. He's 6.5 years older than me,
Mm.
and my mom was a single parent for a lot of childhood, and so he'd make sure I ate in the morning, take me to
Oh,
school.
that's amazing.
I remember one day I beat some kid in one-on-one basketball after school, and when I told my brother about it, he like went and bought me a whole bag of those like grocery store Christmas cookies. You
Oh
know,
my God, that's amazing.
get it. Those they were like little and the white frosting with little rainbow sprinkles, and oh my God, I thought I was like,
That's a great memory. I love
yeah,
that. I love
yeah.
that. That's
He's
good.
a
So you're like a secret basketball player, I remember like Dave Chappelle used to tell that story that Prince once invited them to their house and Prince just kicked everyone's ass in basketball. That's Jessee Lynn Madera. You
he's
heard it
doing
here first, guys. Yeah.
and that part where Rick James or uh who was it? What was it? Who was going cocaine to hell?
Charlie Murphy. I don't know. It just yeah.
Cocaine to
Oh
hell.
my. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Rick James. Yeah, Charlie.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So you heard it here first, folks. Don't ever play basketball with Jessee Lynn Madera
Oh,
because
no,
she will
no,
destroy you. She will break your ankles.
way too much. I did it all for
Oh my
no.
God, I love it.
I'm not really. I don't know what that was, but I wouldn't say I'm an all right volleyball player.
Mm,
I'm
I love it. Cool. Cool, Jessee. Yeah, you're being so nice with your time, and I know you have stuff to do, but let me ask you a couple more questions. Um, one more memory. I really like you're so great at telling stories. I mean, you've spoken before about your first full band gig at the Bitter End in New York City, and
Oh.
how your family flew in and your boots disappeared. Um,
Yeah.
just tell me a little bit more about that night. Was it
Well,
was it the summer? Was it the fall? Were you
no.
nervous?
Yeah, I think it was the fall. Oh my gosh. Yes, it was the fall. And they were not boots, they were these really cute patent leather black heels.
Mm,
Uh, I That was just the best gig ever. I mean, there's that that was like the most exciting, adrenaline rush to play for the first time out with the band. And
yeah,
I guys who probably didn't need as much rehearsal as I made them have, I was
yeah,
just so, and I wanted so badly for it to go well that I think we rehearsed like multiple times a week for 2 weeks,
that's beautiful.
nine
Jessee,
songs.
what does it feel like when you're one with the audience, with the
Mm,
band, and with
yeah.
yourself? Like those, what do those moments feel like?
Well, with the band, it's like what I imagine it would feel like being on a team. Uh, to me, it's like I've never played football, but you know, with the band there. It's constant movement. Everybody's in motion, and everybody's like watching everybody else, and it's a real rush, and it's this um it's a way of connecting with other humans that it's hard to
Yeah,
replicate, you know? Um, I can only imagine that's how team members feel, and that's why bandmates, they get so attached to one another. I think playing music with another person is like sort of, I don't know.
yeah,
They it communicates it's universal. Like you can love a song in a language that you don't understand, and you can
mm,
still feel it. When you're a musician and you're playing with other musicians, there's something happening between the hearts of all those musicians, and it's something that's just not
wow,
more than words.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
And then
beautiful.
when I'm myself, it's kind of like I'm doing that dance with the audience.
Yeah.
And I that's its own thing, you know, because I'm a piano player.
Yeah.
I can sort of have some creative license with rhythm, and I sort of slow down when I really want to say something, you know, when I really want them to hear certain words. I can lay back, and that's really fun. That's like doing a
It
monologue.
gave me goosebumps, Jessee. That's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
That's
Um,
yeah, that's really nice. Amazing. Amazing, Jessee. Well, listen, you've been so kind. What are your plans for 2021? What can you tell us? I mean, I know a lot of our guests have like secret plans and it's like, stay tuned, but what can you give us? You know, you're working on reggae, so that's a clue. What's happening with Jessee Lynn 2021?
well, I have some like live recordings coming out of a couple of the
Okay,
songs
that's amazing.
from Fortunes,
Yes.
and have there's been talk of a couple dance mixes. There might be a couple dance mixes coming.
Ooh,
Uh,
I like it.
I have a duet coming out with a wonderful Nashville-based singer-songwriter named Jessee Cole.
Hmm.
Uh, he's fantastic, and then I'm gonna and man, I actually am working on a few things. Yeah, there's kind of a lot going on, and this reggae song. I'm not going to be, I don't think, you know, but I'll be singing on it for sure.
Perfect. Amazing. Jessee Lynn Madera, you have said it all.
I'm sure, and then some, huh?
And then loved it. Loved having you. What a great, we knew this was going to be a special chat. You know, thanks for coming. Listen, you're brittle. The recipe, you need to, get it back into 2020. Go into your research mode because that sounds timeless.
I will release it. I'll put it out there and I'll dedicate it to you.
Oh my God. There you go. Jessee Lynn, thank you so much. Merry
Thank you.
Christmas, happy holidays, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
All right,
Bye.
take care.